Willkommen zurück zu Let's Play Grisaia, The Fruit of Grisaia. Ich wechsle zwischen Parts irgendwie immer gedanklich von Englisch in Japanisch, kennt man ja schon. Ich habe einen neuen Gegenstand in meinem Inventar, wenn das nicht von diesem Spiel hier ist. So, dann wollen wir mal sehen, was dieses gefährliche Süßigkeiten-Dingsbums ist. Würde ich gerne mal essen. Will ich gerne essen. What? See and die. Ah, I get it. I missed that angle. Candy. Hätte schon die ganze Zeit gehen können. Yeah, I'm sorry to hold you up. Süßigkeit. Without even a bye or later, Machina leaves the area at a truth, as if fleeting for me. It doesn't seem like she outright hates me, though.
逆じゃないかな。
How long have you been there?
みたらし団子のあたりかな。
What do you mean by the opposite?
まあ、なんつうか、単純に人見知りってのもあるけど、マキナはユウジ君に嫌われないようにしてるんだと思うよ。
Trying to not be disliked?
マキナって本当はもっと明るい子なんだけど、明るすぎてうざがられることも多いから警戒してるのよ。
Huh? True enough, I remember seeing her rushing around brandishing Sisida and cackling that first time. If that's her normal state, then the way she behaves in front of me would certainly be a product of deliberate self-restraint, but...
警戒しているってことは、ユウジ君に嫌われないように意識してるって証拠じゃない？
I think it could be interpreted as simple fear as well.
まあ、怯え半分ってのはあると思うけど、大丈夫じゃないかな。
What makes you say that?
さっき、マキナと会話するとき、ユウジ君マキナの目線に合わせて腰を低くしたでしょ？あれって実は有効手段なんだよね。
Yeah. When I was a kid, there was a time I'd been surrounded by unfamiliar adults and found myself on the brink of tears. When one of the adults stopped down to talk with me face to face, I immediately got emotionally attached. Looking back, I feel like shouting, "You sure got attached to an outrageous person," or complaining about what an idiot I was, but...
ほら、私も背高い方だし、最初はマキナもなかなか懐かなくってさ、目線を合わせて話すって裏技に気づくのに1ヶ月もかかったよ。
And now she's glued to you, or something like that?
確かにべったりだけど、言うほどいつも一緒ってわけじゃないわよ。マキナは基本的に一人で遊ぶ方が好きだし。それにあの子、感情のムラが激しいっていうか、あんまり変な意味にとってほしくないんだけど、ずっと一緒にいると疲れるのよね。
Maybe she's playing by herself because she understands that?
うまく説明できないけど、猫みたいなものよ。構ってほしい時だけニャンニャン言ってすり寄ってきて、飽きたらスッといなくなっちゃう感じ？くせっ気でふわふわしてるし、体もぐにゃぐにゃで柔らかいし、体温が高いから抱くと暖かいし、なんか甘ったるい匂いするし、猫っぽいよね。
Da hat's irgendwie zweimal geskippt. Ja, nochmal der Text vorletzte Box. Ja. A cat, I see.
まあ慣れないうちはそっけないかもしれないけど絶対に悪い子じゃないから仲良くしてあげてよ。
I don't plan to force her to be friends if she doesn't want to be, but yeah, I try to avoid being hated. If I avoid unnecessary contact, I shouldn't inspire any hatred, or come to hate anyone myself. In exchange, I won't be liked or come to like anyone either. Maintaining emotional distance along appropriate lines is an essential but extremely difficult aspect of forming efficient interpersonal relationships. Of course, there are always these careless puppy dog types who will leap into your arms wagging their tails right from the start.
何よ私の顔じっと見て。
Well, just thinking about how beautiful you are.
キスしたくなっちゃった？
Alright, Amine, close your eyes.
うん。
Her chest swelling with some ridiculous expectation. Amine closes her eyes and thrusts out her lips as instructed. Moving quickly and silently, I make good my getaway, leaving the girl to her foolishness. Oh god. Gemein, ne?
どこ行ったのよ。もう意地悪。
I see Machina may have the right idea. Leaving out later or goodbye entirely and silently running away certainly is less troublesome. Don't take it the wrong way, Amine. It's not that I hate you, I'm just trying to avoid being hated by you. Ja. Read books in a well-lit area. That was teaching of my masters. At that time, I was accustomed to reading while shut up in a closet or dark room, so those words felt a bit refreshing. Of course, it's not like I'm worried about obeying the teachings of a woman who's already dead, and I'm still not good with direct sunlight. But here I am searching for a bright place with a book in hand anyway. Aren't I adorable? Geht. Na, der Leuchtturm? Ach, schade. No reason to wander around looking for a sunny place in this shitty heat. Stepping away from the air-conditioned school building, I unfold the school's admissions guide pamphlet. On the coated three-fold brochure, there's a bird's eye view illustration of the campus, with a mark to the south of the schoolhouse, annotated planned site of library construction. Planned site? Meaning there isn't a library yet, I guess. Although there is something library-esque on the second floor of the school building. The collection only holds around 200 books. Das ist so ein paar Wochen durch, ne? You can apply to have a book stocked if you're after one in particular, and apparently a book mobile replaces the existing collection every once in a while. But it doesn't seem like it's being used that heavily. Wir sind ja auch nur 6 Leute oder so. In other words, there's no reason to go out of my way to borrow the key to use it. I brought my own books, and there are plenty of well-lit areas besides the library. Huh? While casually looking over the pamphlet, I find the words Rose Garden. This is definitely our principal's doing.
乙女たちの通う学園にはやっぱりバラ園が必要よね。毎年新入生が入学する時期には先輩たちが自分で育てたバラを新入生の胸に添えるの。素敵。
Diese Vorstellung. So I can easily imagine a certain woman who doesn't know how to act her age deluding herself. Diese Vorstellung. Pretty flowers might calm your mind, but they won't fill your belly. If you've got room to grow them, it would be better used for an edible plant. But telling her that would probably just make things unpleasant. I'll just have to remember to greet Principal Tachibana with a good day, Oni-sama, the next time I see her. A rose garden, huh? I don't have any interest in inedible flowers, but I guess there would be a shade tree or two as well. Imagining myself reading under a tree surrounded by blooming roses brightens a smirk onto my face. Guided by these silly thoughts, I decide to head towards the rose garden for the first and only time. They call it a rose garden, but not a single one's in bloom. Based on the map, this is definitely the right spot. And there's even a white arch that seems appropriate, but from what I can see, there aren't any roses in flower. Maybe the garden's still a work in progress, or perhaps they're cutting the buds during the summer. Well, not like I came to see roses in the first place. Whatever. Ich versuche gerade nochmal zu erkennen und mich daran zu erinnern, auf was sie gerade liegt. Ein Kissen kann es irgendwie nicht ganz sein. Sieht aus wie ein Tier, aber da fehlt irgendwie sämtliches alles außer der Körper und der Schwanz. Ich habe gerade keine Ahnung. Sieht komisch aus. That was a surprise. I wasn't expecting anyone else to be here. No more importantly. What the heck is she doing? I approach silently and touch Makina's neck in the area of her carotid artery. She's got a pulse. Ja nee, sie hat einen Apfel gegessen und liegt jetzt tot da wie bei Schneewittchen. On close inspection, she's breathing quietly, so I guess the wicked stepmother, Amane in this case, didn't feed her a poisoned apple. She's sleeping? Wait, this thing is a cat? I think? Ja, dachte ich mir auch so, aber es sieht komisch aus. Vielleicht nur ein Kissen mit einem Schwanz, irgendwie sowas, ohne irgendwie Gesicht und Arme und Beine. A large cat is serving as the soundly sleeping Makina's pillow. I'd taken it for a stuffed animal at first glance. It sure looks like a fluffy toy, but when I draw close, the stubby ears buried in its fur twitch like miniature rudder antennas. My next question, why sleep out here, soon resolves itself. Alter, das ist ja nice gemacht, dass jetzt Blätter quasi... Wow, das habe ich echt noch nicht gesehen. Das finde ich nice. I see. It's definitely nice and cool here. Schon wieder zweimal. Cats are knowledgeable about cool places, or so they used to say. As for Machina, I expect she was wandering around by herself as per usual, then grew exhausted and collapsed into sun sleep on the spot. I watched the partially gnawed apple on Machina's chest rise and fall with her breathing. She fell asleep in the middle of eating, just like a baby. I noticed that Machina's mouth is half open and dripping transparent drool. Not to mention her hair's a scruffy mess. The ribbon on her uniform is crooked, and she's wearing different socks on her left and right leg. What's with this girl? As I look down upon her, Machina suddenly snuffles noisily. Scheint ja gut zu schlafen, ne? What a weirdo. It's been a while since the last time I laughed at a woman's sleeping face. Even as I'm filled with the desire to keep watching, discomfort at the peaceful atmosphere of this place also wells up within me. That kitty. At the moment, I sensed someone watching me and looked over to find that Machina's pillow cat has woken and is staring up at me in surprise. Ah, doch eine richtige Katze, alles klar. Sorry to bother you. Go back to sleep. I leave them, taking care to avoid making noise, and sit down under a tree a little ways away. Phew. Wandering around as she pleases, then falling asleep in the nearest cool place when she gets tired. I see, she certainly does remind you of a cat. I'm envious. That's not sarcasm or anything. I'm genuinely envious of Machina. I'm sure that she brings that little pocket of natural peaceful space with her wherever she goes. I think that's something worth envying, and it's probably very precious to her as well. Which might well be why she doesn't want to step outside the sanctuary of school when she can avoid it. Inside the sanctuary that would crumble in a moment without the protection of others. I wonder if the day will come when I too can sleep in that utterly defenseless way. Huh? Turning towards the sound, I notice the fat white cat from before appearing from the direction of the thicket I just left. Rustling its way through the foliage on stubby legs, it stops suddenly when it spots me sitting under the shade of my tree, glaring at me with sleepy-looking eyes. It lets out a single disgruntled meow. Ist das auch dein Baum? Ich gehe schon. Darf ich den benutzen? My bad. After getting suddenly awoken in the middle of a pleasant nap, it's only natural. If I were pulled out of bed on a Sunday morning by some pushy religious solicitor, I'm sure I'd make a similar face. Although the fat cat doesn't seem to have accepted my apology, he snuffles roughly and lumbers away from this place. As I'm watching the cat dignified exit, the bushes starts to rustle again. hear the sound of a dim-witted creature awakening and lazily stretching out its body. When I take a look, Machina's crouched on the ground on all fours, bending her back. She really is a cat in human form. Machina opens her mouth, holding down a yawn, and rubs roughly at the tears spilling out of the corner of her eyes. After a restless look around the area, she draws herself up off the ground. It's not like I'm doing anything I need to be ashamed of, but before I realize it, I've hidden myself from her. After standing stock still for a moment, Machina takes a bite from the apple in her hand and wanders off briskly. And where's she off to now? It doesn't look like she's got any particular destination in mind. Driven by an interest I find difficult to pin down, I decide to quietly follow Machina. There's no regularity to Machina's actions. Just when I think she's walking straight towards something, she'll come to a sudden stop, look around restlessly, and head off in a different direction. Doesn't seem like she's lost or anything, so I suppose she's just moving wherever her whims take her. Unfortunately, that randomness makes it pretty tough to tail her. It wouldn't be a serious problem if she noticed me, but if I just call out to her now, I have the feeling she'll scamper off again. I skillfully hide my presence and continue shadowing her movements.